Lukoil are supposed to be pumping 120,000 barrels of oil a day in 5 months' time.
Мы рассчитываем на то, что нам все-таки удастся его завершить вовремя.
They are currently 2 months behind schedule.
Which means we've now got to run extra shifts to try and make that final November completion date.
They have been ordered to get back on schedule over the next coming 2 months.
Я хотел бы добавить, что действительно июль и...
This will prove the greatest challenge of their lives.
That's my target for tomorrow. To press.
They will battle temperatures of 55 degrees. Muslim workers down in tools for Ramadan.
We don't eat anything. We don't drink anything.
And deal with terrorist bomb attacks.
It is a very serious problem.
The ship have a big hull.
Hidden deep below Iraq is the world's largest remaining untapped oil field, West Kurna-2. Extracting this oil is the greatest task ever faced by oil workers. The greatest challenge of all is time. They have to lay hundreds of kilometres of pipelines, build a central processing facility, tank farm and power station, and drill wells, all within 14 months.
It's July 2013 on Lukoil's giant West Kurna-2 oil field. This is the beginning of a 2-month period that will either make or break Lukoil's ambition to reach first oil by December.
В связи с выборами, блокадой месторождения мы откатились в реализации проекта. Отставание наше составило примерно около 2 месяцев в целом. За эти месяцы была наша задача постараться сократить это отставание максимально, для того, чтобы ложиться в наше время, которое мы себе наметили.
Lukoil's senior managers are eager to ensure that all the construction projects get back on schedule. One of the most critical tasks is drilling a hole that will allow the pipeline to cross the third river. Drilling under a river is always risky.
Еще предстоит почти 1,5 месяца работы, чтобы обеспечить этот переход. И у нас совсем нет времени для того, чтобы рисковать. И в случае, если здесь будет какая-то авария, мы можем сорвать своевременный запуск месторождения.
We can do it. Just
Here, the team are drilling a borehole to allow the export pipeline to cross this massive waterway.
Я хотел бы добавить, что действительно июль и август – это критические месяцы. Если мы не сделаем наши планы, не реализуем в июле-августе, то возможности уже что-то исправить не будет. Поэтому мы будем очень много и напряженно работать в эти месяцы.
Mr. Kazayev has recently recruited Sandy Cornelius.
I've been alive a long time, so I've got lots of experience.
This 30-year veteran of the oil business is based at the Dubai HQ.
Lukoil are attempting to do this project faster than anybody else has ever done an equivalent project in the Middle East.
But Sandy is pessimistic about the chances of reaching first oil on schedule.
When you look at the status of the construction today, the fact that the pipeline has still some significant issues, the facility, the central processing facility itself, still has holes in the ground, still has pipe to put in the rack, still has many, many pieces of the jigsaw puzzle to put together. in my opinion, we're probably about 6 months behind.
If this is correct, it will be devastating for Lukoil's ambitions to reach first oil by November. They will have to work flat out to try and make up time. But this is not easy, for these are the hardest 2 months of the year to work in Iraq. In the summer, temperatures soar to an excess of 55 degrees.
I saw 47 degrees Celsius in my car under shade of car park. Outside sunshine temperature is 56.
And Ramadan has begun. This is the month-long period when Muslims are forbidden to eat or drink from sunrise to sunset. This has a huge impact on Muslim workers. It's vital that productivity doesn't fall at the central processing facility, where they are already behind schedule.
Ramadan impacts people, for sure. There are very limited number of the local people, so they eat nighttime and they ought to work daytime. This is killing, actually, the productivity.
Lukoil has a plan.
We can bring on more Indian labour who are not necessarily Muslims. So we can continue our progress all the way through Ramadan. The Muslims can take Ramadan off. We will supplement that with Indian labour who are not, and maintain our pace of progress.
Lukoil will try and recruit 800 Indian welders over the next 2 months. It's going to be extremely hot, backbreaking and difficult 2 months. But one man remains convinced that the targets can and will be met.
Очень верю в команду Лукойла, в тех людей, которые здесь работают. Они не жалеют своего времени, своего здоровья. Работают круглые сутки для достижения поставленных целей. Я очень верю в наш успех.
It's 3:30 in the morning, Medina. Oil worker Haki Saber and his extended family have gathered for their pre-fast meal.
We are eating now. This we called it suhoor. This is the first time we eating before startup fasting. Because we will fasting 16 or 14 hours. During this time we don't eat anything, we don't drink anything.
Before heading off to work, Haki performs his morning prayers. "7 a.m. the central processing facility. Miles of vital pipes have finally arrived from the port of Kaza. Lukoil's project manager, Mark Sturman, is overseeing their installation into the pipe racks.
There's one big pile of different shapes, sizes and diameters of pipe in a big heap. And that jigsaw puzzle in itself is a massive undertaking, which we really didn't want to have to do. We've now got a nightmare on site that we will have to disassemble this jigsaw puzzle and put it back together again in the right order. It's 2.5 months late than we anticipated, which means we've now got to run extra shifts to try and make that final November completion date.
A few hours later, Haki arrives at the CPF. Haki works for Samson as an administrator.
I have to get assigned confirm our access permit.
So it's just for 7 days, huh?
Yeah, 7 days.
Good.
Thank you
very much.
See you.
He's lucky. He's based in an air-conditioned office.
My job is inside, but outside is 48. So as guys is working outside facing difficulties.
In the searing heat, the guys have to cool down. Being Ramadan, they can't drink, so they douse themselves with cold water. The crippling heat is clearly taking its toll on all the workers.
شمس قوية إذا احنا بنشرب الماء ما نشرب.
Over the last 2 months, there's been good progress on the 120k long export pipeline. But the pipeline is still a cause for concern.
Экспортный трубопровод остается критичным до сих пор. Мы рассчитываем на то, что нам все-таки удастся его завершить вовремя.
The 120k pipeline is critical. The oil will flow from the CPF to the Tuba tank farm. Lukoil will have achieved first oil when 120,000 barrels a day arrive here. The third river crossing is one of the high-risk sectors of the entire pipeline project. The crew use directional drills to make the borehole under the water. They will need to drill this hole multiple times, each time adding a bigger bit known as a reamer that will allow them to increase the size of the hole until it is eventually big enough to hold a 42-inch diameter export pipeline.
Good ground to drill. All the ground is salt clay. This is good to drill.
The danger is that if the drill stops turning for an extended period of time, the entire drill string can be lost and the guys will be forced to start again. The drill is extended by adding new sections to create one continuous pipe. At the moment, this takes 10 minutes. The lead engineer is eager to speed this up.
I'm measuring the time, how much we take and how much required for better progress. इसके नीचे वाला, हाँ, इसके नीचे बड़ा प्रेशर से उसे जाके उसको एक बंदा बेल्ट ले लेगा ना फिर. Can I stop now? Final 8 minutes and 42 seconds. Happy, but I want to make it 5 minutes.
If they can maintain this rate of progress, they will complete the borehole in 7 days. Kirill Smolikov and Adnam Hubba arrived to check on progress further along the pipeline.
The problems of project, new challenges.
A brand new excavator that is used to dig pipeline trenches has fallen into the riverbank.
Very soft ground. You know how it's happened.
But now they're thinking about the hook to pull it out.
And here, go down, down, down.
Every day, every time, yeah.
The banks of the Euphrates are continually collapsing. If the guys don't move quickly, the digger will be lost forever.
I think it takes 1 day or more.
It's a race against the rising water. They have 12 hours to get the digger free. The 120k oil export pipeline crosses land farmed by many hundred Iraqi farmers. Each one has been offered compensation.
В период Саддама их просто выселяли и все. Здесь было сделано все цивилизованно. Люди получили то вознаграждение, на которое они рассчитывали.
The Southern Oil Company agreed to compensate every farmer.
Впервые крестьяне получили компенсацию в Ираке за всю историю, получили компенсацию из правительственной казны для потери их сельхозугодий, которые необходимо были перевести в промышленные земли.
Every farmer who works the land has been offered compensation.
Здесь было сделано все цивилизованно. Люди получили то вознаграждение, на которое они рассчитывали.
Only one farmer refused compensation. He is holding out for more money. The farmer has stopped excavators getting onto his land by lying in front of them. This is causing another delay. At the pilot camp, Lukoil's senior management team discussed this issue.
Что с этим вот чуваком, который поперек дороги лежит? Что с ним?
Последние новости. С ним надо торговаться, потому что сумма, которую ему озвучила ЮНК, это $5000. Он сказал, что он хочет 26 миллионов. Это неприемлемо для ЮНК, и он на это никогда не пойдет.
Complicate the situation, but you know this stubborn.
Он не имеет права так
activities are illegal and
Надо арестовать его и все.
Вчера мы сделали некачественно.
Murad, the Deputy Director of Construction, has been dispatched to resolve this dispute.
And the engineer from SOC, he told them not to work here. So we're trying to figure out what's going on, why he stopped them. We'll see what we get.
He's frustrated that the representative from the Southern Oil Company has stopped all work. He wants proof that the farmer has been offered compensation.
Ask him who sold with the locals for this land. Oh, okay, what kind of paper he's waiting for this? No paper. That's it.
Murad decides to force the issue.
Yesterday I got the confirmation that the problem was solved and we can go. Somebody solved that. We will just start working and we'll see what will happen. Stop the job. Stop the job. Let police talk to the guy. No problem, I'm here. Okay. Fuck.
Now the soldiers from the Oilfield Brigade move in.
So, Mr. Ibrahim, the situation is critical.
The landowner is arrested.
We have to push him out.
Murad has broken the stalemate and work gets underway. (1 p.m. At the central processing facility, a giant water heater has finally arrived on site. Vitali is overseeing this key installation. He's been waiting a long time for this moment.
Around 8 months is the manufacture of this heater. It's 2 months delivery and customs clearance. Around 2 weeks preparation work. Now this is final step. It's 158 tons it should be installed.
The vessel is lifted.
This is a hot oil heater for hot oil system. It is a system for heating of the oil during the oil treatment. Hi KT, come to here.
Oh, this is one of the monumentary installation.
The 60-ton vessel is lifted. This is the moment of truth.
Just this one.
The fittings need to be millimeter perfect.
Any mistake, any fault of this operation is maybe important.
It takes 5 hours to secure it in position.
Very happy, very happy. We work hard, just work hard, and we finish.
It's also a kind of monumentary moment, enough to change skyline again.
On the banks of the Euphrates, it's been 24 hours since the excavator fell into the river. Water is rising. The crew have finally managed to clear the mud to allow them to try and pull it free. Work on the trenches can continue. The Iraqi crew have left for Ramadan. However, a small contingent of highly experienced Indian welders have arrived at the CPF.
Check what we got and check the weld.
Mark is hoping they will help catch up on his schedule.
And we need to gain something in the region of 4 to 4.5% this month to at least close the gap of the 2.5 months that we lost in the beginning.
They're welding together sections of the 1.2K long flare pipe. This pipe will take excess gas out to a safe distance where it will be burned off.
Welding itself is an extremely skilled job, particularly with this flare pipe. What we really wanted was the pipe to be here before the pipe racks were placed. That has not happened, of course. The pipe racks have been modularized and lifted and are now set. Well, they're welding together 3 sections because it's quicker and faster and it's less welds up in the air. Welds on the ground are faster, welds in the air are slower and not as safe. Initially we had a really big issue with weld quality. So we had to regrind, re-weld, and this took 3 or 4, maybe even 5 times to get right.
Once 3 sections are welded together, they are lifted onto the pipe rack. Each section weighs X tons. Every day they need to weld X sections together to have any chance of getting back on schedule. The new Indian welders are helping, but at the moment there is just not enough of them. Medina, 7 p.m. It is now Eid, the holiday that marks the end of Ramadan. and Haki and his Iraqi colleagues are in the mosque for the final prayer of the day. The Imam is delighted that foreign oil companies have come to Iraq.
احنا بالنسبة أي شركة من الشركات اللي تجي تخدم أبناء الشعب العراقي هي مشكورة على هذه الجهود، وإن شاء الله تبذل جهود أكثر لتطوير المنطقة وللعمل الدائم في هذه المنطقة إن شاء الله.
To celebrate Eid, Haki lays on a feast for his family and tribal elders.
Now moon is finishing because Ramadan is finishing. Ramadan we made food for our cousins and our uncles. This is a small village. Everybody here is cousin everybody.
While the Iraqi workers are celebrating the end of Ramadan, the replacement welders are hard at work. There are 6 oil storage tanks at the CPF. Each one requires a domed roof. The first one will be lifted tomorrow. Anwar has arrived to check the quality of the welds.
This roof is about how much? It's about 60 ton, over 60 ton. The welding has been done in one pass, maintaining fluid weld size 5 mm. The quality of the welding that we have is pretty good.
But the problem is the amount of welds that need to be completed.
About 10,900 welds to be done.
Lukor's management are concerned that there is still not enough workers to make these welds. Mr. Kazayev and Dmitry Azinayev arrived to see the problem for themselves.
They lost a lot of time because of night shift. There's no sufficient quality of the welders and the workers. So this is the problem, and I invited Mr. Kuzayev just to have a look what happened now. And he's convinced now, even more than me, that we have not enough workforce during night shift. Tonight they reported 2,000 people on board. You can walk across the site. I cannot find. In general, we just need to increase the quantity of welders, that's it. That's my target for tomorrow, to get more and more welders involved in the night shift works.
If they can't increase the workforce, they will never be able to get the CPF operational by November. The end of Ramadan is marked by a wave of bombings across Iraq. In August alone, 1,000 people were killed across the country. Basra is not immune. Bombs explode in the middle of the town. And on the 26th of August, a bomb goes off within the port of Qaza.
The truck, which it is blasted, it was staying here where I'm staying now. The ship, it had a big hole, and the damage on the warehouse.
The port is locked down. Tens of thousands of tons of material are stuck.
The port was closed for 7 days.
A 6-kilometer line of trucks wait outside the port.
And it's a very big queue, the trucks, approximately from 6 to 8 kilometers.
Only 20 are allowed to enter each day.
It is a very serious problem because it's a direct effect on the schedule. The site operation can be stopped because of no materials and equipment.
This is a potentially devastating blow for Lukoil's struggle to get back on schedule. Ivan, Lukoil's head of corporate affairs, meets with the port authorities to try and resolve the situation and get the goods flowing back to the oil field again.
The purpose of this meeting to create the action plan. Currently we have a quite critical situation in the port, but because of the Ramadan, general decreased activities, plus the accident in the port, we are delayed. And why we are here today, and why we are asking for such detailed plan, and we are gonna make put a detailed control and give all our support together with the security to control the road, help to pushing the trucks. My people will be in the port, help you. Now everything is priority number one. No more priority number two. And it means that all these containers require on the side to proceed the work, not stop the work on the side.
The officials agreed to reopen the port. However, Lukoil can only bring in 56 trucks per day. But still not the 100 trucks a day they desperately need to get back on schedule. At the third river, there is bad news. The drill has stopped turning halfway under the river. Drilling supervisor Vadim Inland has arrived to find out why.
Охренеть, бля. Basically what I can say now, so they lost gearbox. Gearbox was broken for some reason, we don't know exactly what was happening, bearings or something else. But amazing. Ну прикинь, вот, как такие чушки.
The gearbox has bust. The question is why.
Bad situation.
Vadim questions the crew.
Mr. Nikiforov sent me here just to see what's going on exactly. First of all, do you have program for drilling?
We have.
Where is it?
We submitted at the office.
My friend, it should be in driller's cabin. Program should be here. Second thing, your map. Also should be fluid program.
Vadim suspects there might be a problem with the lubricant, known as mud. It is used to cool the drill and bring cuttings back to the surface.
Okay, my friend, what's it? It's absolutely brand new, блядь. What can I say? It's absolutely brand new equipment. Never ever was used. Okay, my friend.
The mud was not mixed properly, causing the gearbox to overheat and break down.
No simple reason, a human factor. There is no any drilling program, there is no any instruction, there is nothing. Right now we stuck somewhere in the middle of that river. So I don't know, if we will be lucky we will be able to pull that tools, if not we are in big shit.
If there's any hope of rescuing the drill string, and more importantly, keeping on schedule, Vadim needs to find a solution fast. (4 p.m. Scott Stone is overseeing the specialist lifting team who are putting the roof in place.
Okay, well today we're lifting the roof, which we're actually using a 500-ton crane. Lifting studies has all been approved. We have ALE on site. They're the approved specialists. This is the heaviest tank roof inside the utility area.
He has been planning this for the past week.
It's actually probably a perfect time to lift this, you know. Everybody's gone home. There's no one walking around.
The lift gets underway.
There we go, it's all up now. Yeah, it's very impressive. It's quite satisfying to, when you see a lot of hard work and a lot of effort gone in to take place to actually building this plant, you know.
"90 tons dangle in the air."
See them taglines, you need to make sure them taglines are not snagged. We are experiencing some schedule delays, however, we're trying to recover those schedules with lifts like this and trying to work overtime, etc., and do all we can. It's a good team effort, and you can see everybody's came out to witness this today. So it's everyone feels proud that they're part of the CPF project, really.
Safety!
The first lift is done, but there are 14 more to go. But the problem is a lack of materials. All work comes to a grinding halt until more vital equipment arrives. There is good news at the third river. The gearbox has been replaced and the drill string is turning.
Yeah, the difficult thing about the horizontal drilling is that all the pressure from the canal itself, the ground, the soil, so it can collapse anytime. Our schedule is very, very tight. We don't have much time, so that's why we're looking forward to complete this hole without any faults.
The guys need to replace the 36-inch reamer.
Really means that we make the hole bigger and we remove all the heavy materials from the hole to make it clean for the pulling pipe.
This is the moment of truth. The hole could still collapse.
The big concern about this particular 36-inch reaming was that it will stuck inside or something will happen, like hole will collapse, and we had to drill a new hole, which means that we will lose the time, we will lose what we did.
This would mean starting the process again, and Luke Oil have no margin for error. The reamer is out and the hole remains intact.
Very happy all our team, because we completed 36 inch. It was very, very important for us.
However, the crew need to send across 3 more reamers before the hole is complete.
This reaming is complete, 36 inch. We will proceed with the next one, 42 inch. Non-stop operation.
September 2013. Overnight, Mr. Kazayev received bad news. A workover rig's mast that has just been built is faulty and needs to be replaced. This will have a significant impact on the schedule.
Блин, расстроил ты меня, ё-моё, с этим я плохо ночь спал. С этим подъемником гребаным.
He heads straight over to Cluster 5 to confront the contractors.
А почему вы проводили, когда инспекцию, не выявили дефекты мачты?
When we did the inspection and commissioning, there was no defects in the mast. I mean,
But why over there not defection? Here is defection.
And this This is why we're discussing.
Yeah, but it's not possible, you know. It's quality your job.
I understand,
but I'm lose a lot of time. From WQ I needed good service. Time to time I'm lose my money with you. Я бы хотел, чтобы вы мне ровно через неделю лично здесь доложили ситуацию.
Хорошо.
Потому что для нас это критично. Нет, имей в виду, я сегодня плохо спал.
With delays mounting by the day on the pipeline and on the drilling clusters, Mr. Kazayev drives straight to the CPF to find out if the critical targets for July and August have been reached.
Цели были сократить отставание до 5,5%. И строительство у нас заморозилось также минус 7,54.
Что значит заморозилось?
То есть оно неизменно осталось за последние 2 недели.
Цели, которые ты ставил, ты не выполнил. Сказал, значит, что у тебя должно было быть 5%, ты должен был сократить. Потому что ведь это же основание для того, чтобы вовремя запуститься.
Да.
А ты докладываешь, у меня все нормально, мы застыли. Ничего не нормально. Но все равно, в любом случае, честно надо сказать, задачи августа по сокращению отставания не выполнены. По разным причинам. Мы то понос, то золотой. Давай дальше.
Фактически, да, была понижена активность в Рамадан, но в целом темп не упал.
Ну как не упало? У нас смотри, Иван, у нас как бы одна из причин, почему мы продолжаем отставать по пайпингу, это отсутствие было материально-технических ресурсов.
Ну это поставки,
Иван, меня не интересует, ты отвечаешь за поставки, я отвечаю, будь добр. Слушай, просто меня что не устраивает? Меня не устраивает, что что-то нам все время мешает. Хотя через 3 месяца уже по плану у нас что-то должно тут добываться. Действительно, прошло почти 2 месяца, и июль-август мы рассчитывали, что мы догоним отставание от графика. Сегодня мы должны были сделать 91% всего объема работ, но, к сожалению, июль-август не оправдал наши ожидания и выполнено 87% работ. Мы отстаем на 4%. Нам необходимо в 2 раза увеличить объемы работ, чтобы наверстать упущенное.
But despite the fact that they are behind schedule, Mr. Kazayev recognizes his team's effort have been monumental.
Буквально за 8 месяцев произошли существенные перемены. Мы построили огромную, как я уже сказал, почти на 2-3 месяца. Но отставая от наших планов, мы близки к мировому рекорду по организации производства работ такого масштаба в данном регионе, на Ближнем Востоке.
With continuing problems at the pipeline, the drilling clusters, the CPF and the port, they are going to need to work 24/7 and their luck is going to have to change for the better to have any hope of reaching first oil in just 12 weeks.
Требуется для достижения поставленной цели. И я уверен, что наша работа, наши усилия, они не пропадут даром. И под Новый год мы с вами будем свидетелями очень важного для всех нас события первой нефти Западной Курной 2.